Welcome, Ahmed.
Welcome.
Yeah, how are you today?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, fine. Alhamdulillah,
Okay,
fine.
good. Okay, can you give us a brief about yourself and your reasons for studying IELTS?
Okay, first of all, I'm a teacher. I live in Dubai. So one of the I don't mean by doing the IELTS or taking the IELTS something just rather than the immigration. Okay, so I'm doing it for immigration purposes basically. Yeah, that's it for the
Okay,
IELTS.
best of luck. Okay,
Thank you.
let's go to question number two.
I'm in the last step.
Yeah, okay,
Alhamdulillah.
hopefully you can achieve your dream. Okay. The question number one, how do you generate great ideas for the essays, Ahmed?
Okay. I'm an Arabic language teacher, so reading itself is key to generating ideas. But first of all, if I struggle in generating like a piece of idea or something, I tend to transfer the whole topic into my language. So it is more logical to myself, to my mind to comprehend, and I will be able to structure it very logically and cohesively. Yeah, that's the most important thing. That's why, for myself, I give priority to cohesion and and coherence, because if you achieve this, if you can achieve this, very well, so the likelihood of having the other criteria perfect or like not perfect but like very good is high. At least if you use simple words, will give meaning.
Okay.
Unlike if you just like use some maybe fancy words, but the structure doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
because the whole structure is like illogically built or structured. So
Yeah.
what
Okay.
what is the point? Yeah,
Yeah, good. Like when you use weak ideas, doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, where do your ideas originate from? Like, have you been reading articles or magazines? Is reading a habit of yours generally?
Yeah, again, the same point. Reading is an inextricable part of my job.
Mhm.
So I have to read every day on daily basis. Because I cannot just stay in front of any of my
Can I
students.
rephrase this question, Ahmed, please? I will
Yeah,
ask this question another way. Like, for example, okay, sometimes we generate ideas generally by our mind. So the
yeah,
result is weak ideas. But when you,
yeah.
for example, after reading the articles and magazines, then you can come up with stronger ideas.
Of course,
Okay?
of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. So the key in this is to, for example, if I tend to ask myself, maybe like on daily basis, like if I find some any situation that I may face, I ask myself why. Like this actually, it is recently happening now, because I didn't used to be like this, because IELTS, or the concept of IELTS, gave me the impression that you may be asked about any trivial question. Like just say, don't think that because this is nonsense, that it's fine. You could be asked about a nonsense thing, no problem. Still, you can be asked about this.
It means you have to like widen your mind and widen your repertoire of ideas for the
Yeah.
exam. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, the next question. You don't use the first ideas that come to your mind, especially if they are weak. How do you maneuver your mind towards these strong ideas? Do you get my point?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, like you want to say that making stronger ideas,
Yeah.
and instead of yeah, of course, using the first idea that comes into your mind is not a good it's not a good idea in itself,
Mhm.
because this it could be a way to when you take the first idea that comes or pops in your mind, it could be itself a way to it's actually you're being subdued by the task. You're not doing something, like, I mean, you're not being very high in thinking. You just you got the first, or the tip of the think, not you didn't get it thoroughly.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
You know
You
what I mean?
mean you
That's
need
why
to
I
think
try.
deeply about the point to get
Yeah,
the good ideas.
I have to make it the grid,
Hmm.
thinking in this way, very, very comprehensively. think in all ways and all all themes. I try to link things with each other. I may come across with a subject or something, maybe like in cultural things, and I make a good idea about this culture thing and I link it with the technology, for example, and make some benefit. Okay, still a benefit. It's still something you can talk about. At the end of the day, the examiner, as far as I know, like wants to see something that you can express your idea on topic. Okay, and you're not talking about, for example, culture, and you bring something from something from different, like irrelevant thing.
Unrelated
Yeah,
ideas or unrelated examples.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, the next question. How do you plan before you write?
Okay, planning again, it takes us back to the point of thinking of the question prompt. The plan has to come from, of course, you have to settle your mind on one idea. I want to do this, I want to do that. Do I agree with this? Do I disagree with this? Or what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What are the causal reasons? What are the solutions? So I have to settle my mind first. Okay. Once you're settled on something, so now you start thinking of, okay, the first body paragraph will contain one advantage and one disadvantage. Oh, sorry, the advantages, and the second one will be the disadvantages, or if causes and solutions, one cause and one solution, or two causes and then two solutions, respectively. Okay. Yeah. But first of all, you have to plan for the body paragraph itself. The topic sentence has to be like a subject, something you like. You can, like, it's kind of an overall of the whole thing, of the whole body paragraph. So once I read it, just the same thing in reading IELTS. I read the sentence topic. I get a brief account on what is what is to be covered in the whole thing, the sentence and the outline at the end. But the outline is not very crucial, but the most crucial thing is the topic sentence, because if it's nothing there, so the whole topic is gone. So it has to be either, I can say, for example, an example for this, for example, technology, or technological advancements have become or have invaded our lives, for example. This could be a topic sentence, or I can say, for example, explain by due to something or because of something, or so explain in the same sentence, or just a cutoff in the first, just like, yeah.
Yeah, try to use as much as concrete ideas as much as you can.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the next question is, how long have you been practicing writing? Has it always been an easy and quick? When did you start to feel that your writing ability is improving?
Okay.
Okay,
writing in
wait, Ahmed. Okay, the most important question here is how long have you been practicing? That's very, very important.
Generally.
Yeah.
Okay,
when did you start practicing, and where are you now? Generally, how do you think your improvement goes?
Okay, well, this is a trick question, because I don't have actually milestones in my life, to tell me where I was and where I'm.
No. What I mean is you have been practicing, for example, for 3 years, for 5 years, something like this.
No, actually, I've been practicing for years, because
How many?
Around. Okay, ever since I came to UAE, for example, I haven't done something in a different language, all in English, because I teach in English, basically. I write exams and tests for students in English.
Okay.
So,
wait, Ahmed, can you give me specific answers? Okay.
Yeah, years.
Okay, so number one, do you think about IELTS writing a long time every day?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
yeah.
Good. The second
Yeah.
question is, give me a number of years. How long have you been practicing writing for IELTS? Since you started?
For IELTS.
Yeah, for IELTS.
Maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
I mean, since your beginning with IELTS.
No, just 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
I haven't done something for IELTS before,
Okay.
Never.
What about your practice in general? How much do you practice?
On daily basis.
Okay.
I do this, on daily basis.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Would you like to add something to this point?
No, thank you.
Okay. The next question is, How and where do you practice English generally?
Yeah. Okay. Well, all my friends, like almost all my friends, are like either British or American people. And as I said earlier, I'm a teacher in an international school. All the people are like from UK, from America, like or Canada, like all Western. Okay. So and I visit them in their homes. They visit me. So every day, all the time, I speak English. That's it.
Okay. The next question. How do you measure the context of the question? Or is it because you use English a lot that makes your mind better able to grasp the meaning and the range of the question?
What do you mean by the context of the? I didn't get this one.
For example, like okay, with some questions we can use certain ideas, but we can't use others, or we can use like different types of ideas, but
You,
generally,
you mean? Do you mean that to understand the context from the first read?
yeah, I mean, okay, for example, if we give you a word in the question that means generally we want the negative effects, or generally
Mm,
we want the positive effects.
mm,
Is that okay?
mm.
Good. Like
Okay.
how quickly does your mind grasp this idea?
The idea of getting like good effects or bad effects.
Yeah, it's like okay. Let's say you grasp the limits of the question or the range of
Okay.
the question. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
so you understand that this kind of idea does not fit, and you understand that this idea fits.
Okay. You mean to stay on topic?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, again, thinking of English, thinking of English helps a lot, especially if it's not your first language. Okay. But if you are like sufficient enough to like to generate or to think or to have to conceptualize the topic in English, that's great. But an exam, the IELTS, is not a place where you can show off your abilities. That's why if you even practice at home at the mock exam or something, don't waste your time like thinking of the ideas in English. Okay, because this will end like you will end up eventually end up like thinking of the words, not the ideas. Okay, so knowing how does the like to stay on topic, it's just that the like once you move, for example, I like the topic sentence, I give the supporting evidence. Okay, I ask myself, how does this support this? How is that? So
Mhm.
is it logically related to it or something I'm trying to kind of enforcing it? So I'm kind of if I actually if like enforcing it, so it's now like kind of fake.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
If it's fake, so well the whole thing will be like like
Mhm.
collapsed.
Yeah. Unrelated and irrelevant, and you lose grades.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, we want your general recommendations and personal experience with training for IELTS.
Well, for IELTS, reading is key to success. Uh, without reading, you will not be able to get like if the new like the advanced words, like you will use you like possibly use them like 100%. You're using them in a completely like wrong place. For example, the word which like sometimes like I really feel like a pity for these people. These like the word plethora,
Mhm.
narrate, like use it in wrong context, and they think because of using these words they will just impress the examiner, and actually they are using it in a wrong context.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I
Okay,
totally. Yeah.
reading, how do the people, the original people, the aboriginal people use this language, this word, sorry. Okay,
Mm.
otherwise like you will look like naive to the examiner,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what we call context. Like you understand which words fit and which
Yeah,
words don't fit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Other recommendations?
No, thank you.
Okay. Great to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thank you.
day. Bye.
Good day. You too. Assalamu alaikum.
الله وبركاته.